Hello guys, this is going to be just basically an overview and an update on the two Velotric bikes that we've got here. We're really happy with them. This is the Nomad and the Discover. Here's the Discover, which is a more road going bike, versus the Nomad, which is a more off-road going bike. We've had these bikes for a couple of months now. You may have seen the review on the channel. If you haven't, go check it out. If you're interested in one of these bikes, make sure you follow the links in the description and get yourself one of your own. We did a very comprehensive review on the bikes, and we've had them, like I said, for a couple of months, and we've been riding them a lot. Carla especially, she's been loving this Nomad. She's been riding it nonstop everywhere we go. You can see we got dirt, we got mud on them. We take care of them, but they do get dirty. And I've been riding the Discover with her, but there's definitely uses for each one, and I'll explain kind of an overview between those two. So for the Discover, this is a road going bike. You're definitely going to want to stay off of really soft stuff. I've tested in this really soft arena. You can see in the review that we did. We rode these bikes on a 10-mile ride. We went through a nature preserve, stayed on some fire trails and some sidewalks, no problem. But as soon as you want to get into some deep stuff, you're gonna want this Nomad. The Nomad has these huge fat tires, and let me tell you, they really do the job. They can go through anything. The bike's got plenty of power to do it, and all of the features on these bikes are super high-end. I love the hydraulic brakes. Everything has been holding up really well. Like I say, we've been riding them quite a bit. We ride them on the farm here too, quite a bit. So the mileage isn't so high, but the hours, the usage is definitely there. We've had a hurricane or two come through. We've had some severe weather. We've had flooding. We've had all kinds of scenarios to test these bikes through, and they have pulled through with flying colors, even if they're really just yellow. That's a flying color. The batteries are good for about 35 miles or so, 40 miles. The Discover's going to go a little further. We've realized that, and I think that's mostly because it's been on more flat ground, more roads, that type of scenario. But the Nomad is right there. I honestly am very impressed with how much range this Nomad has, considering it's a much bigger bike, really. If you look at the two side by side, you can see the wheels are just so much bigger. The width is wider. The suspension is wider. You can see that. It's a larger bike all around. The beauty of this bike, though, is that the seating position is actually lower. So if you're a smaller person, this bike is definitely small person compatible. And they both really are, but this one is actually more compatible for a smaller person. If you're under like 5'6", 5'7", you're definitely gonna like this in a step through. You can see, you can go right through it, get on the seat, no problem. This one's got a couple more inches of ride height, actually seat height, I should say. And you don't really notice it if you're a taller person, if you're over 5'8", 5'9", 5'10". I'm 6 foot, I ride it no problem. Flat-footed, no issues at all. It's really like it's hard to explain, but it really doesn't ride like a small bike. It does ride, it feels like a larger bike. This rides more like, it's really hard to say, but this really rides like a small bike. It feels tight, compact. The handlebars are swept, so your grip position is closer to you. So it does feel like a smaller bike, but it is a bigger bike. And that, I think, is the beauty of the bike itself. So realistically, like I said, both bikes have done really well, outstanding, and we've been enjoying them nonstop. The sun's going down now. I'd like to go get another ride as we speak, but either way, no maintenance issues at all. We haven't had to do anything to these bikes. They have stayed perfectly in tune. We have jumped them off of mounds of sand and all kinds of stuff. Hit lots of rocks and bumps and curbs. Carla actually jumped a curb. She didn't even see the curb because we were going a little fast, and I took a little cutaway in the road, and she missed the cutaway and just bounced right over the curb. No issues at all. This big suspension just took it, kept on going. She barely even knew it was there. She hit it and she was like, "Whoa, what was that?" Both of these bikes have done really well. They have survived the torture tests that we've thrown at them. Brake wise, no wear noticeable at all. And the top speed on these being over 20 miles per hour is fantastic. So if you're able to get your hands on one of these bikes, definitely for a taller rider and you're going to be more commute-ish, go for the Discover. If you're a shorter rider and you're more of an off-roader, or if you're just a taller rider and you're more of an off-roader, look at the Nomad. I'm telling you, you're not going to be disappointed. You won't be disappointed with either bike, but if you're a smaller rider or if you're more off-road oriented, this Nomad is just unstoppable. I love the handlebar position, just like Carla said. The swept handlebars are great ergonomically. They don't hurt at all on your wrists or elbows, and you can ride for miles and miles and miles and just forget about it. You're never going to get tired of that. The more upright, or no, I'm sorry, the more forward position of the Discover is for me is a little bit on the wearing side. After about an hour or two of riding, I do feel it in my back. It's a little bit forward, but on the road, as far as like cruisability wise and just being able to go the distance, forget it, man. This bike is just unstoppable. Really, really fun stuff. So between the two bikes, honestly, my favorite is the Nomad, just because I love how versatile it is. It does both really well, and the swept handlebars are just really nice. Now, you could always put some swept handlebars on the Discover. I haven't, just for the sake of keeping it the way it was and the way it was designed, but I might do that. And that's the beauty of these bikes too. Don't let one bike style keep you down. If you do like that Nomad look and you like the swept handlebars, you can add it to the Discover. Not really a big deal. This is what the fun of the hobby is all about. The other thing I want to mention is on the Discover actually has a tail light integrated into the fender, which I really like. I wish that was the case on the Nomad, but it's not. So the Nomad does not have a tail light. You're going to want to put one on if that's important for you, which I think it should be for safety. But since we ride together and our helmets actually have lights on them, I'm not really too worried about it so much. But that's just one thing I do want to point out. The other interesting thing I would like to point out is the Discover headlight mounts on a flange mount. It's really nice. It mounts right into this brace for the suspension, while the Nomad is a conventional style. It goes right through. So a little bit different, but definitely something just worth noting. I do like that. I think that's a very sturdy, flush look. It's pretty nice. Now, another big difference that we have noticed is the suspension. The suspension on the Nomad is a little beefier, I believe. That's the way I feel. It does take a lot more hits than the Discover, but I don't think the Discover was really designed to take hits. Either way, the Discover still does have a full front suspension, so it is able to handle quite a bit of terrain. But again, the Nomad really is the clear winner in an off-road and bumpy condition. So takeaways, again, we've had these bikes for a couple of months. We've enjoyed them very much. And if you're in the market for one of these Velotric bikes, definitely check out the review that we did a couple months back and let us know what you think. And if you're interested in getting one, you need some help picking, feel free to call us. We can definitely help you and steer you in the right direction to get you what you're looking for. These bikes have been phenomenal for us, and we can't wait to put another 1,000 miles on them. So with that being said, I think that's what we're going to get to go do. Anyway, hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys have a great holiday. And if you pick up one of these bikes, let me know in the comments. I want to know what your experiences is, because I think you're going to love it just as much as you.